Life lesson story. The Lantern in the Orchard. A story about guidance, gratitude, and finding the way back in a quiet valley surrounded by gentle hills. There was a small orchard filled with old apple trees. Every autumn, when the leaves turned gold and the air carried the scent of ripe fruit, the townspeople looked forward to harvest season. But the orchard held a secret, one known only to a man named Tomas, its longtime caretaker. Tomas was tall and soft-spoken, his back slightly bent from years of tending the trees. He had inherited the orchard from his grandfather, who told him that apple trees grow best when spoken to with kindness. Tomas believed this wholeheartedly. He visited them every morning, greeting them as if they were old friends. But most mysterious of all was a lantern. A simple wooden lantern with a cracked glass pane that hung from the oldest apple tree in the center of the orchard. It never seemed to go out. Some nights it glowed soft and golden. On foggy evenings, it flickered like a watchful star. Children whispered that spirits lit it. Adults said Tomas must refill it secretly. No one knew the truth. One autumn, Tomas took under his care a troubled boy named Rowan. Rowan had been growing distant from his family, skipping school, wandering the valley alone, searching for something he couldn't name. His mother, worried, asked Tomas if the boy could help with the harvest. Rowan resisted at first, grumbling as he followed Tomas through the orchard. But over time, the quiet among the trees felt easier than the noise in his own head. Tomas didn't ask questions. He only showed him how to care for the branches, how to check the soil, how to recognize an apple ready for picking. "You listen well," Tomas said one day. "No," Rowan muttered. "I just don't know what to say." "But it's also a kind of listening," Tomas said gently. As the days grew shorter, Rowan began asking about the lantern. "Why do you leave it lit?" Tomas smiled. "Because someone might need it." "Who?" "Anyone who's lost. Anyone who forgets the way back, even you." Rowan frowned, uncomfortable. "I'm not lost," Tomas didn't argue. He simply nodded toward the lantern. "Even when we think we know where we're going, sometimes the dark surprises us." One evening, Rowan arrived at the orchard unusually quiet. He had argued with his mother again, this time yelling words he wished he could take back. Instead of going home, he wandered deeper into the valley. The sun had already dipped behind the hills, and a thick fog rolled in. Soon, Rowan realized he didn't recognize the path. Every direction looked the same. His breath quickened. The stillness of the valley felt heavier than usual. He called out, but the sound was swallowed by the fog. For the first time, Rowan understood what it meant to feel truly lost. He stumbled through the brush, panic rising until he saw it. A small warm glow between the trees. The lantern. He walked toward it like a moth drawn to flame, tears burning in his eyes. Standing beneath the old tree, he felt the warmth against his face. Not just from the lantern, but from something deeper, something remembering him even when he forgot himself. Tomas stepped from the fog behind him. "I wondered if you'd come this way." Rowan didn't speak. He simply cried into the man's coat, and Tomas held him as gently as he held the orchard. When they reached Rowan's home, his mother stood at the door, red-eyed and trembling. Rowan ran into her arms. She held him tightly, whispering, "You're safe. You're home." Tomas nodded at her and began walking back to the orchard. Rowan ran after him. "The lantern, it helped me. Why does it never burn out?" Tomas smiled, placing a hand over Rowan's heart. "Because it isn't the lantern that shines," he said softly. "It's the love you left behind and the love waiting for you. The lantern only reminds you to look for it." Rowan blinked. "So it's not magic?" "Oh, it's magic," Tomas said with a wink. "Just not the kind found in books." Years passed. Rowan grew into a young man who worked with the trees every harvest. Tomas's hair turned white. His steps slowed, but the lantern always glowed. One winter, Tomas passed peacefully in his sleep. The town mourned him deeply. When Rowan returned to the orchard the next dawn, he found the lantern's flame still burning steady, bright, unchanged. Rowan placed his hand on the trunk of the old apple tree and whispered, "I'll keep the light for anyone who needs it." And so he did. From then on, the lantern in the orchard never dimmed, not because of oil or fire, but because of the love passed from one heart to another. Moral of the story: the light that guides us home is not found in lanterns or stars. It lives inside the hearts of those who love us. When we feel lost, their love becomes our way back.